Are you ready? Stand by.
Hey everybody, I'm Dave Hartman and welcome to The Three Gun Show. This is episode 331 where I speak to Sydney Rockwell on managing several jobs, match directing, and how early mentorship led to a passion in the shooting sports. And Happy New Year to you. Since we've spoken last, there have been some big changes going on. First, I moved to Round Rock, Texas, which is pretty exciting. And of course, I brought The Three Gun Show with me. My big brother is coming down in the next couple weeks here to help me build out the Three Gun Show studio. And I'm really excited about that because we're going to center it around building gun stuff, which means like workbenches and like a cool bench in the middle where I can do like camera demonstrations, things like that. So pumped about that. I have a bunch of great guests from the Austin area lined up that are coming by, and we're going to be doing some stuff in the studio. A couple trips to areas around like Fort Worth, Dallas, Houston, etc. And I'm just really excited. So if you're in the Round Rock area, say hi as you pass by. Now on to this week's show. Sydney Rockwell, no longer a junior. She's going into her final year of high school though, and applying for colleges. And I talked to Sydney about how she got into the shooting sports, and then I learned that she has 3 jobs, including being match director of her local 3-gun match, which is kind of crazy, all while pulling down good grades. So think about that next time you think you don't have time to dry fire. Plus, you're going to hear how early mentorship helped her develop a passion in the shooting sports, and it's a really cool story here, and I think you're going to like it. But there's something that we can all take away from that, and maybe be a mentor to someone on the range when you see someone who needs your help. So enjoy this interview with Sydney Rockwell. Hey everybody, and welcome to the 3-Gun Show. I'm your host, Dave Hartman, and with me today is Sydney Rockwell. Sydney, welcome to the 3-Gun Show. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too. Thank you for having me.
I'm excited to have you on. So I've seen you on the range a lot. So and I'm looking forward to getting into the mind of Sydney here and figuring out exactly what makes you tick, why you shoot 3-gun, and see if we can have some fun and some laughs along the way.
Sounds good.
So let's start from the start, Sydney. Why don't you introduce yourself to the audience and give us an idea of what you do when you're not on the range? Who are you when you're not shooting 3-gun?
Yeah, so I'm Sydney. I'm 17. I'm a senior in high school, so I'm a full-time student, but I also work 3 jobs right now.
3 jobs?
So I'm very busy.
Jeez.
Yeah, and I'm also in the process of applying for college, and I'm the oldest of 4 girls, so my little sisters are crazy and always around me, and that's pretty much my life.
Huh. Well, so let's back up to the 3 jobs thing. It seems like a lot with
it is
with doing school and the whole gig. I think at the most I only ever had like 1 job at a time when I was in high school. How do you do 3?
A lot of stress and a lot
too young for stress.
A lot of coffee.
I can relate to coffee. I'm having a little afternoon warm up here myself. So what are your jobs? Are they related to your passion of shooting? Are you pursuing something for career-wise?
Some of them are. I am a match director at Dead Zero Shooting Park, so I match direct the 3-gun matches, and I'm also their marketing manager. And I am an assistant to golf teacher for the Tennessee Golf Academy. So I work at the local country clubs, and I teach little kids golf. That's what I do.
Yeah, do you like that?
I do. I really enjoy it. I also babysit a little bit, but some people don't count it as a job. Sometimes I think it's a job. But
that kind of sounds like a job.
It is. It gets tough sometimes.
Yeah. That's it's like being squad mom, only less whiny, right?
Yes, exactly.
The gunners are little whiners.
Sometimes.
Well, Sydney, how did you discover competitive shooting? When did that come along?
So I actually went to this all-ladies gun club with my mom, and the owner and wanted to start me in competitive shooting. So I started training, and I trained for about a year, and then I shot my first match, which was a steel challenge match. And then I went and shot an IDPA regional match, and I decided that it wasn't for me. I did not like IDPA. And so I kind of stopped for a little bit. I shot some steel challenge every now and then, like once a month. And then I saw a video of Jana Reeves shooting 3-gun, and I decided that's what I wanted to do. And so I started shooting 3-gun.
Nice. Now, what was it about that that video of Jana Reeves shooting that made you want to get out and shoot it and try it again?
It looked cool, honestly. It looked like a lot of fun. It looked like a lot of running around and doing really weird things with, I like intricate things. So it looked interesting. It was something I wanted to try. It was something different.
Yeah, a little more going on than IDPA for sure.
Yeah.
So what? All right, we always like to joke about IDPA on the show, but it is a practical shooting sport. So we gotta, they're like our little brother. We gotta love them anyway. So what was it about IDPA that you didn't like?
I went to this regional competition, and that means I can't remember how exactly IDPA worked, but somehow there's local, and then there's something else, and then I think there's regional. I skipped one of the levels, and it was my first IDPA match, and I didn't know anyone, and nobody was really interested in talking or helping me. And I actually ended up being decent at it. I believe I got high junior. And the parents because I squatted with all the juniors, and the parents of the other juniors were not very happy. So it was just not the best environment that I wanted to be in. And it was a little, I was only 13, so it was a little discouraging. And I was like, okay, maybe I'll just stop because maybe I'm not good at it. And so I just kind of left it alone for a little bit, and I shot some steel challenge because I knew the people who shot local steel challenge, and that's just what I did.
Mm-hmm. Do you like steel challenge better
than IDPA? Yes, I do.
So what can you remember, like when you shot your first 3-gun match? About how long ago was that?
It was June of 2015.
Okay.
And it was a major match.
Oh, your first match was a major? Which match was it?
The Freedom Munitions match.
Yeah, the Texas 3-gun championship?
No, not that one.
No, a different one?
They only had it 1 year, and I'm trying to remember where it was. It was in North Carolina, I believe. But I can't remember.
Okay. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank on that one too.
Yeah, it was a while ago. It was a really hard match.
Was it?
Yeah, well, I remember it being really hard. It had a lot of long range. I didn't know what zero was, so my rifle wasn't zeroed. I didn't know what a choke was, so that didn't help. Me and my dad were just kind of like figuring it out, and luckily I had squatted with Jana, and Jana and James Casanova had helped me a lot through it. But I used their guns, and I was like, they zeroed. After the first day, they went to the zero range and zeroed my rifle for about 2 hours because they wouldn't hold zero.
Oh, you're kidding.
No.
Yeah, that's something I see a lot with new shooters when they come to club matches. Is one, like not having your rifle zeroed, like it's pretty close, and then two, just not knowing what your zero does at different distances.
Yeah.
Have you figured that all out now?
I have. Luckily.
Much happier experience.
Much happier experience. Sometimes I can hit things. It's interesting.
So that first match, what was like your mental state going into it? Were you nervous?
I was extremely nervous. I was afraid that I was going to fall in DQ and do something stupid, or nobody would like me, or I wouldn't fit in well and everybody knew what they were doing. I was just very nervous, but I was determined to go and have fun and try something new.
Mm-hmm. Now, did you have like the, I guess like a feeling that it would be similar to the IDPA match where people wouldn't talk to you and then they'd get mad at you if you did well?
I was very afraid of that.
Yeah.
But I was also kind of thinking that it's a shotgun and rifle. I'd only shot a shotgun once before, and I had only really worked with rifle for hunting. So I was more of like, oh, I'm going to be so bad that they're not going to want anything to do with me.
And
you're gonna be like, okay, this is your first match. This is your final match. Please don't come back.
yeah. Thanks for coming. Go stand over there.
Yeah.
Well, so
Exactly.
is that what happened? Is that the
No,
the
that's
experience
not
you
what
had?
happened at all.
No.
I made a lot of friends. I got to meet all of the ladies who were at the match. I was squatted with Jana and James, and we hung out with them. And Jana kind of took me under her wing. I also got to meet Lena and Becky and all these awesome people that I've become great friends with.
That's cool. Can you remember anything specific that one of your I guess early mentors in the match told you that you still use today?
Don't stress, it's just a stage.
Really? I've never heard that one. I should use that one.
Yep, it's just a stage, let it go. I timed out on every stage, so I was like, and it was like a 300-second timeout. And so it was kind of discouraging when it's like, okay, the stage is about 50 yards long. I could get it done.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. Timing out is, it's a little demoralizing. I've done that a couple times myself. And when you stand up at the end and you turn around and your squad's just kind of like looking away, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah,
but here it was completely different. I don't know if it was because I was young or if it was my first match, but I'd finish, I'd time out, and everybody would be smiling. Or my first stage, they all clapped, and that's what I remember.
It
felt
cool.
more like a family than like a competition.
Yeah, three gun is it's interesting in that respect because I've shot a little USPSA and man, those dudes are like hyper competitive, and in three gun, people are really competitive at like the top and everything, but they still take the time to help you out, high five you, loan you rifles, and it's like a completely different environment.
Exactly.
Is that what made you stick around?
It did. Yeah. I loved the environment. It was fun. I enjoyed it a lot more. I thought it was, IDPA had some weird rules that I didn't understand why I broke that rule. And so I like that I could change my mag while I was walking. Things like that.
Yeah, you don't have to go duck behind a wall to change mags.
Yeah. I like that I didn't have to put my empty mag back on my belt.
Yeah, that one seems kind of odd. I'm going to have to shoot an IDPA match because I talk a lot of trash about IDPA, but I should actually go and experience it before I
don't think I've shot one since then.
No?
No.
Well, so you're after your first match, you had good experience. You realized like, okay, well these are nice people. This is more my crowd. Where did you go from there? Did you make a whole bunch of gear upgrades like everybody does, or did you just go straight shooting matches, or what was the journey like?
After that match, I went home and I had Jana's number, and she started texting me about the match and kind of like we dissected the stages and what I needed to work on. And then I was planning on shooting War Sport, the team match, and she invited me down to train with her the week before. So I stayed at her house for a week, and she got me a belt. She got me a Safariland belt that I still use, and mag pouches, and a holster. And I actually didn't have my own pistol. My parents, we couldn't afford a pistol, so James Casanova gave me a Glock that he wasn't using. Very cool. So I trained with them for a week and then went and shot the War Sport team match. And I just got more comfortable as I kept shooting. And after that, I did another team match. I think it was the 3-man match in Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
I got invited by one of my squad mates who I shot with at War Sport to come shoot on her team for the 3-man match. And I went and shot that. And so I'd done 3 matches that summer. And after that, I kept in touch with Jana, and she helped me kind of figure out what to navigate through as far as gear and guns and modifications and things like that. And then I went and shot Pro-Am, and that was when I kind of made my decision. Okay, I really want to do this. I'm going to stick with this.
Very cool. It's great to have those mentors when you're starting out. I was actually going to tell you that James Casanova was, he's a Colorado dude, and I've taken a couple classes from him, and I credit him with a lot of the things that I know now, but he never gave me a Glock, so maybe I need to call him, complain a little bit. But Yeah. So
Where's my Glock?
yeah. Hey, dude, I heard what you did for Sydney. But it is great to have like the people that want to participate and want to see you get better. I really like that about the sport. It seems like a lot of people are invested in your success rather than just yourself.
Yeah, exactly. They all want to see you succeed, which is really great.
Yeah. So in that training week, then what kind of things did you and Jenna work on?
Oh gosh, it was so much shooting in one week. We worked a lot on. I was already pretty familiar with pistol, so we worked a little bit with pistol, and then we worked a lot on rifle and long range because since I didn't have my rifle zeroed or anything at the freedom match, I just kind of crashed and burned. And so she was able to get, I think, out to about 300 yards at our old house. And so we shot a lot of long range. She taught me some long range techniques, and we made sure that my rifle was zeroed. And then we worked a lot on shotgun because I didn't really know how to load or what I was doing. And so her and James taught me how to, I guess it's twin load, and it's what we worked on for the most part.
Yeah, just a lot of loading, a lot of position work.
A lot of loading, a lot of walking and shooting, and just figuring out things worked.
Mm-hmm. Well, so the war sport team match, whatever the heck they called it, that was a really fun match. It was a fun format.
It was a fantastic match.
Yeah, it was really cool. So, do you remember who your partner was?
It was actually the owner of the range who had told me that I should shoot competitively. Was my partner for the first year I shot it, and then the second year I shot it with Jason Edwards.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
good times. So, did you guys do any good?
First year, not really, because I was not doing that great. But the second year, I think Jason and I got 10th.
Oh, wow.
So that was pretty good.
That is pretty good. Now, the team match, it allows like coaching. You have someone there to strategize with and everything. Did you like that format better than doing it individually at like the early part of your game?
I did. I really did. I liked it because you could coach, you could help your teammates, and other people in your squad could help you. And it was really cool that it was a match that you either had to shoot with a lady or a junior, because I was able to meet a bunch of people and meet other juniors that I hadn't met yet. And it was a good match social-wise, and it was good match-wise because of all these new things that I couldn't do at other matches. And it kind of helped me get used to three-gun and really enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like the lady and junior format because, man, that match had like so many juniors in one place. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, the only other
it's
one
almost like Gen 3.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The only other one that's even close is Gen 3. Gen 3 is really cool in that respect. Yeah. There's a ton of juniors there as well. Now, do you find that you're looking for that type of format where juniors are there competing too, or is now it just doesn't matter?
Yeah, I really do like going to matches where there's other juniors there, because it kind of, in a way, pulls more people, because you want to get more juniors involved in the shooting sports, because obviously juniors are the future of the sport. And it's really cool to meet other kids that are doing the same thing as you. They're going to school and they're shooting, and some of them are working, and it's good to have friends that kind of understand your shooting life.
Yeah, definitely. I can bet that is important, because like when you're at school, right, there's probably not a lot of other competitive shooters there because this is such a small niche sort of thing. Yeah. And then when you're hanging around with a bunch of like, dudes in their late 30s and early 40s on the range, they can't really relate to high school either, right?
Yeah, no, not at all.
So in that case, have you made a bunch of friends in three gun that are right around your age, a bunch of juniors?
I have. Some of my closest friends are three gunners, so I'm really fortunate.
Yeah. Now, how does that work? So you come from all over the country to shoot at one match. You see them, and then you don't see them again for like 3 months until the next match.
Yeah. Lots of Snapchat, lots of texting, some FaceTime. We kind of just kind of wait till the next match, and we try to plan things like go to dinner, squad together, things like that.
Gotcha. Now, do you lean on each other for like stage plan, gear recommendations, and stuff like that, or do you generally just have fun?
Do.
Yeah,
I would say we do. A lot of juniors like to walk stages with each other, and gear recommendations definitely, especially among like us girls. We kind of different gear fits us better than other gear and things like that. But yeah, I would say that we do lean on each other for that kind of thing.
yeah. The ladies in gear sort of thing is definitely prevalent. I used to teach basic pistol classes at my old range, and whenever a lady would have a question about gear recommendation, they'll be like, "Let me go grab someone that can answer that question for you because it's going to be completely different."
Yeah, definitely. The ladies and gear thing can be interesting sometimes. Some things fit better than other things, and some things work better. Some guns work better. It's just kind of depends on where you're at, how much strength you have, and things like that.
Mm-hmm. So as far as like matches go, how have you settled on like the match schedule that you shoot now? And do you see that changing when you go off to college?
It's definitely going to change when I go off to college, sadly. I'm not going to be able to shoot as many matches during the year, and most matches are during the year, I guess, to avoid the hot weather in the summer. But I'm going to shoot as many matches as I can during the summer, and hopefully some majors during the year, but it also will probably depend on how my professors are and how they are on excusing absences and things like that.
Mm-hmm. So which matches then did you shoot this year that are like your favorite, that are like must go to matches, and why?
Ooh. I finally got to shoot the Extreme Bullets match in Texas this year.
Yeah, I saw you there.
I loved that match. That was
Good.
a great match. Probably because I've been wanting to shoot it for the past like 2 or 3 years, and I finally got to shoot it, and I liked it because there was a good mix of long range and natural terrain and some bay style stages, and that was a lot of fun. I got to shoot Task Force Dagger this year, and that was interesting.
Tell me what you mean by interesting. So it's a very physical match.
It was extremely physical. I actually really enjoyed it, but I did not enjoy pulling something that is heavier than me.
Yeah.
We had to pull a 200-pound dummy up a hill. So that was fun. Then you had to shoot long range, and then you had some shotgun and pistol out all the way after that. We had to jump into a dump truck after running through like a stream because it had rained. So if I stand next to the dump truck and if I jump, I can kind of get my hands around the top of it. But when your shoes are wet and you have a rifle on your back, it's a little bit different. So that wasn't really the case for me. I attempted it, and I fell down like the side of the dump truck. And so you see me in the video just like looking around for some other way to get on the dump truck. And I end up going to the door, stepping on like the railing, and then stepping onto the the doorknob?
Door handle,
the truck door, and stepping on the side mirror to get into the back of it, and just like doing the splits into the back of the dump truck with a rifle on my back.
That's awesome.
Then I get to shoot long range, and I'm like, I missed like 2 targets. I couldn't shoot it.
Yeah, plus you spent a bunch of time trying to scale up the side of the dump truck.
Yeah.
Oh man, that sounds like fun. Or I guess fun to watch.
It's more fun to watch, probably. No, it was a lot of fun to shoot. And we had another stage where they had us climb over one of the berms. So that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was about it physically. We had a couple stages that had involved a lot of running and some weird obstacles that you had to shoot through. It was at Clinton House. So they used that house that they have out there, and we shot through the windows, and you started upstairs and you had to run downstairs, and it was really cool. It was a lot of fun.
Nice. I heard they're like actually going to be finishing out that house, and it's going to be like something you can rent on the range.
They are.
It's such a bummer. It was such a great place to shoot from. Yeah, the Clinton House is a cool range.
What? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to do like lead abatement. There's got to be a lot of lead in there by now.
Yeah, I don't know if I would want to live in that house after all the shooting that's happened in it.
No, all the blood that's been spilled, people falling down the stairs and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. So do you like
another?
Oh, I was going to ask you, do you like the more physical type matches, the longer stages and stuff, or do you ever get to shoot any bay matches?
I shoot some bay matches, but I do really like a lot of the physical matches because it kind of pushes me, and I like to see kind of how much I can do while shooting. It's interesting. It's something different. Bay match wise, I shot the Bays with Bullets match in May. Mm-hmm. That was a really good match. It's always really fun to go there. They have a really good prize table too, which is nice.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah. And what else did I do? I also shot the JP PCC match in Indiana this year. I RO'd with Chris Wiseman and Carmen Lout.
Oh, cool! How was that?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was interesting. You could definitely tell when you had the USPSA squads come through and when you had the 3-gunner squads come through.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How so?
The tone was just kind of different. The USPSA guys were very like straightforward. Let's shoot the stage, get it done. No funny business. And then the 3-gunners were just having fun, and we were joking around. And Carmen she read the stage brief and she'd try to throw in some jokes and stuff like that. And you read them to the 3-gunners and they'd all laugh, and then you read them to the USPSA guys and they were just kind of like blank faces.
Yeah, harumph.
Yeah. But it was fun. It was a good experience.
Good times. So are those matches on your schedule for next year then? Is that what you're going to try to get to?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to RO at the JP match again because I graduate a couple weeks beforehand, so that'll be in my summer. So that's good. And I'm going to shoot the Extreme Bullets match and definitely Task Force Dagger. Hopefully I'll get to do Pro-Am again. And I'd like to do the ladies match, the Fall Fest.
Yeah.
So I just kind of have to limit how many matches I do while I'm in college, which stinks, but I will get to do as many as I want during the summer, which is nice.
Nice. Well, so you're at like the early part of your shooting career. You've been doing this for 3 years now. If you could go back and give like the brand new, fresh newbie, never shot a 3-gun match, Sydney, a piece of advice, what would that piece of advice be? The
same piece of advice I got. Don't worry. It's just a stage. Don't stress about it and have fun.
Yeah. Do you still use that when you're shooting now?
I do, especially if I have a bad stage. Then I kind of just like to let it go. Don't think about it. Just move on. Just a bad stage, go to the next stage and do better.
Mm-hmm. Now you mentioned that you're a golfer as well. You teach little kids to golf. Now, is this like a high school sport that you do?
Yes, I'm actually the captain of my golf team.
Oh, cool.
For school, and we just had our state tournament last week.
Oh, nice.
And we got state runner up, so I'm pretty excited.
Very cool. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So a lot of people that shot USPSA 3-gun like the early days, they would read golf and tennis books to learn about like mental management and stuff like that before there was actually some books on the practical shooting topics. Do you find that a lot of the focus things that you use in 3-gun translate over to your golf game and back and forth?
I definitely do, because golf is definitely a mental game, and so is shooting. Shooting's like 80 to 90% mental. It's all in your head most of the time. Mm-hmm. And golf is the same way. If I tell myself I'm not going to make that putt, then I guarantee you I will not make that putt. So it's a lot of, and the other thing with golf and the same thing with shooting is you have a lot of time to think. With golf, you're not talking a lot. So you're kind of really in your own head and your own mind space. And it's just telling yourself that if you have a bad hole, you need to let it go. If you have a bad stage, let it go. and just kind of getting through it and doing your best.
Yeah, it's pretty cool how like your experience in one area can translate over to the other and help you in that arena.
Yeah.
So when you're golfing and you're not talking, like, do you wish you're at a 3-gun match first of all, and then
Yes.
and then second, like what is the what's the self-talk like? Like, how do you speak to yourself while everyone else is doing their own thing and you're just waiting for your turn?
It's a lot of not paying attention to other people and other people, how they shot or how their last shot was. Not kind of if you're close to another person, trying not to push further than they did, and because then you're just going to end up messing up or topping it or something like that. And so it's a lot of trying not to compete with other people, but just trying to compete with yourself and focus on your own game.
Yeah, it is interesting, the the parallels between golf and 3-gun. And when I'm describing 3-gun, I kind of use like a golf analogy, like, well, we go around in squads like you do in golf, a foursome, two different stages. Like in golf, there's a hole, that kind of thing. But as far as like it being an individual sport, I mean, it is weird that there are golf teams because it is an individual sport, So
Yeah.
it is like a really good analogy and a really good parallel to it.
It is, definitely.
How long have you been golfing?
I started when I was like 4 or 5, and then I stopped for but I stopped for a little while, and then I played a couple matches my 6th grade year, and then I stopped because I was the only girl on the team, and they were kind of like, yeah, you can't be a part of the team because we don't have a girls team. So, and I picked it up again sophomore year. So technically since I was 5, but really since about 3 years ago, 2 years ago.
Now, is golf like 3-gun is something that you want to do long term?
I'm not actually sure. I probably prefer 3-gun right now, but golf is something that I'm definitely looking at for college. I'm not that good that I could go pro or anything like that, but I do really enjoy it, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So I think they had like an intramural golf team when I was in college. So there's always those types of opportunities.
Yeah.
Gives you something to do, to exercise, meet some people, walk around on the grass.
Exactly.
All right. So so golf is a good trainer for 3-gun. 3-gun's a good trainer for golf. Now, when did you start directing matches and teach other people to shoot 3-gun as well?
Teaching, I started about a year ago. I went and assisted Jana with teaching some ladies. And then this past summer, I was invited to come teach at the 2A Heritage Camp. And so I was the lead shotgun instructor at the 2A camp at Rock Castle.
Very cool.
And I really enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun. And I started match directing this past summer too. In June, the range invited me to come be their match director. So I decided to give it a try. I thought it could be fun.
Shoot, I'll just do all this in one several month period here. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Let's just cram everything into now.
Those the 2A Heritage Junior camps are a lot of fun. It's
they are.
Yeah, I've gotten the opportunity to be a part of a couple of them. Just hanging out and basically observing. But I love the environment because they give juniors the time to like socialize, meet each other, and make friends and things like that, as well as learn about the actual physical parts of shooting. And the one I went to last year in Minnesota, Lanny Barnes did like a talk on mental game, which I thought was really cool. And there's so much to offer in those classes. It's really cool that you got to be a part of that. Yeah,
it was a great experience, and I loved doing it. And I loved hanging out with the younger juniors and the kids who wanted to start shooting. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, did you see anyone there that might be nipping at your heels anytime soon?
Definitely. There's a bunch of them there. I actually, one of the juniors that I helped didn't have a scope, so I sent him one of my spare scopes, and he's running it now. and he's going to be whooping me soon, and I don't like it. I told him to stop, and
I'm going to need that scope back, buddy.
Yeah, pretty much. And there was a bunch of girls here that are they're going to be whooping me too. I don't like it. They need to all stop. Just stop shooting. No more.
Yeah, it's a tough one when the student becomes the master.
I know, but it's okay. I'll be okay with it.
Nice. That just means you need to get better, right?
Exactly. Just need to shoot more.
Yeah, keep them back. Well, so okay, your match director-ness. What's that like? So you're doing? I'm guessing this is a club match you're match director of.
Yes.
This is like a monthly match, weekly match.
Monthly match.
Yeah. How's that experience been?
Monthly 3-gun. It's been really good. It's been different. It's not what I expected at all. It's a lot more. I knew it was going to be a lot of work, but it was probably a lot more work than I thought it would be. I go and I set up the matches by myself pretty much. The landscape crew at the range, they help me move the big stuff like Texas Stars and plate racks and long range steel. And other than that, everything's pretty much me. Sometimes if they're not busy, they'll come help me hammer some things down. But it's been a good experience. I've had a lot of fun doing it, and I really enjoy it.
What's like your least favorite part of match directing?
Having to DQ someone.
Oh, yeah. I can imagine.
Yeah. That hurts clicking because I have all the DQs come through me, and having to click that button, not a good one.
Yeah, it's tough. Have you ever had anyone that's had like a bad reaction to a DQ?
Nope, I've only had to DQ one person so far, and they were completely cool with it, and it was really good. So
that's good. Yeah, so I just got done doing the Big Ben Blast and Dash, which is like a 5K running gun that we did here in Colorado, and I was assistant match director for that. My least favorite part was answering questions beforehand. I answered the "Do I need a sling?" question about 1,000 times.
Oh yeah. But that's also a major match, so I think you're going to get a lot more people.
Yeah, but this was
I get that question, though, too. I'm like, no.
Yeah, well, see, ours was a running gun.
I don't like slings. I'm not going to make you do slings. Oh, yeah, you have a running gun.
Yeah, ours was a running gun, so, like, you're going to be running a 5K with your rifle. I would recommend a sling, but it's totally up to you. So that was always the interesting question. You're like, really, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some silly. What's the silliest question that you've got from someone coming out to shoot?
Oh gosh, do I have to use my shotgun?
Yeah, we get that one a lot.
Yeah.
What's your thought on that? So I see a lot of matches, offering like 2-gun division.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm more of a it's 3-gun, use all 3 guns type of person. I just switched like last week. I decided that I would switch to UML rules, and so I put in 2x4 division, but I didn't put PCC only, and I didn't put 2-gun because one, that just makes my stage planning and stage making so much harder, and two, I kind of want people to use more than one gun for the whole match. And I also have a jungle run where I can only put birdshot in, and I'm going to have a jungle run every match, so you're going to need a shotgun.
Yeah, so in that case, that makes it like pretty darn obvious you need to bring your shotgun, right? Or they just get like a 0 for the stage. I've had like several conversations with different people of, now instead of so I guess like on a large scale, right? If you continue to buy birds like clay pigeons, it's not as economical as buying one 4-inch steel target and setting it out there, right? So now that can also be used as a pistol target or a PCC target, right? So in the big picture, I guess that's all well and good, but when it's optional, it makes more sense to do make it be a pistol target because you've got 23 extra tries in your pistol and you only have 5 to 12 extra tries in your shotgun, and it takes forever to load them up. So I see like the shotgun kind of getting eschewed out, like being shut the door slowly, and it's kind of a bummer. Like the Wyoming Governor's match in all, I think it was 10 stages, I shot like 34 rounds of birdshot.
Oh my gosh.
I know. It was disappointing.
See, I love shotgun, so
Me
that's
too.
why I can't take shotgun out of my matches. I have to have shotgun.
Yeah. Our local club match up in Colorado, or one of our local club matches up in where the hell is that? I don't know. It doesn't matter. But it's northern Colorado. It's near Greeley. I always forget the name of the town, which is usually why I'm late to the range. But they switched to UML this year too, and they ran UML rules for. I mean, they're still running UML rules, but they did the 2x4 and the 2-gun division for quite a while. And just recently, they said, okay, we're only doing 3-gun because they got tired of doing the concessions for PCC and 2-gun. It's like, okay, well, we had to get rid of all the clay pigeons. We never have throwers out there now. And it just makes it too complicated, so we're going to go back to 3-gun. So
yeah,
I was a little worried about that at first because 2-gun does draw in people that normally wouldn't shoot competitions. But I love the shotgun so much. Like, don't make me suffer because those guys don't want to shoot their shotgun.
Yeah, well, that's why I did the 2x4 division. I had some of my shooters. They kind of were like, well, because I get out to 430 yards, so
Nice.
I put targets out there. And they're like, and then I have some bay stages, and they would rather use a bay gun for the bay stages and then their longer 18-inch rifle for the long range. And so after reading all the UML rules, I was like, okay, I don't want to switch to 2-gun because then I have to get rid of all my clays. And same thing with PCC only. So if I do 2x4, then they have the option to shoot their PCC on some of the steel and the paper. And then they can also shoot shotgun, and they can shoot rifle, and they can shoot pistol. So,
yeah, that's cool. One of the, as far as like PCC concessions go, one of the best ones that I've seen is Dissident Arms in Houston. Mike Whiteside's, I don't know if that's his standard answer or not, but I was standing next to him when someone that was shooting a PCC division asked him like, okay, well, how are we supposed to shoot these? And Mike's like, I set up a 3-gun match. If you want to shoot PCC, you figure it out, and you all shoot it the same way, and I don't care. I was like, oh, okay. Well, that's the best solution I've ever heard of that problem.
there you go.
That's good times. I like it. Yeah.
Was that the hard as hell match?
No, that's so Dissident Arms. They shoot at the Cawthorn Cartridge Club. It's like CCC.
Oh, that's right. They have their own matches too.
Yeah, it's right outside of Houston, and they're doing the UML. I guess it's like the Bushnell UML Traditional Nationals or something like that in November here. So they also did like the 3-Gun Nation Southwest Regional at that range with Mike and Land from Dissident Arms helping out. So those guys know how to put on a good match. So it's a fun place to shoot.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All right. So as match director, I want to know like how much of the stages you design come from like the ether from your head, and how much come from like, oh, well, I shot this one at Task Force Dagger, so I'm going to put this array over here, and this one was kind of cool from Gen 3, so I'm going to put that one over there.
I usually base most of my stages around stages that I've shot.
Uh-huh.
And then I get there and I change half of it. I'm like, oh, that bay wasn't as big as I thought it was. So then I've ended up scrapping half a stage before, and it's hurt me a lot. But it kind of starts off being, okay, I've shot this and I liked this part, so I'm going to put that here, but I'm going to change this. And then I get there and then I change like 4 different things. And everything gets changed so much that I couldn't really tell you how much comes from a match and how much comes from me, because it'll all start being like 80 to 90% from a match or a stage that I've shot to being like 80 or 90% me.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. So do you like the freedom and the creativity there, or are you racking your brain like every week before you gotta put a match on the ground? I
like it. Some stages and some areas, I'm kind of like, I don't really know what to do here. I don't know what's different, what's something I could try. Jungle runs are hard because I can't really do it until I get down there because I don't know exactly where every tree is.
Yeah,
so
these trees move like all the time.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, there's so many trees down there. And so yeah, things like that. It's hard to figure out what I'm actually going to do. I can get a general idea, which is nice. So sometimes I'm kind of racking my brain, and then sometimes I'm like, this is exactly how I want it, and that's how it's going to go, and then I still change it. So,
Do you ever set up a stage and it's like much harder than you thought it was? Oh, we froze. This is the part of the show where we freeze for a moment. Oh, okay, she's back.
So you cut out for a second.
I was just talking to the microphone to myself. Sydney, do you ever set up a stage and then think when you're shooting it later, like, well, that was way harder than I thought it was going to be?
I have before. Yes.
Yeah.
Most of my stages, I just kind of lay them out and I put them in weird spots. I'm like, that kind of looks tricky from here. And then I won't walk it and I won't look at it. And I won't kind of look at it from a competitive standpoint. I kind of look at it from a really hard, gonna make you work for it standpoint. And then I'll come the next day to shoot it. And I'm like, why would I do this to myself?
Yeah.
But it ends up working out most of the time. I haven't had anything completely crash and burn. So I've crashed and burned on my stages, but nothing too horrible.
Yeah. I like to joke with my my buddy Mike Griswold of Rocky Mountain Targets. He puts on a match, and there's been several times where he's just completely missed targets, and we've been on the squad together, and he'll just like run by him, and I'm like, Mike, you designed this stage, buddy. You didn't remember that popper over there?
Yeah, that's pretty much me. Especially if I put like really small targets at long range. And I'm like, oh, they're all missing it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably miss it too. And then I end up and just go blow 60 seconds trying to shoot at it. Like, okay, why did I do that?
Yeah, no kidding. Well, the cool thing though is that you can set up stages based on things that you need to work on personally, right? You can use those club matches for practice and everything.
Exactly. And I try to kind of make my club matches, I wouldn't go as far as mini major, but close to it, just so that they're a little bit, I try to keep it friendly enough for the new shooters, but it has some difficult spots for any pros or any other experienced shooters who want to come shoot it, like the really far long range at 430 yards.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people like that.
No.
I remember the first match I did, I found out that I could go to 430, and so I put targets at 410, and nobody had gone. I think the previous match director hadn't really gone past 300 or 350 or something like that. And all the shooters hated that the targets were out that far. They hated it. So I only had 3 targets out for that match. And the next match, I put 7 long-range targets out.
Oh, nice. Don't tell Sydney what to do.
But I felt really bad, but I think they felt a little more mentally prepared that they were going to have long range.
That's great. So then, after everyone complains for like the first couple matches, but then after a while it becomes like, okay, well, I'm used to this. And now they have that tool in their toolbox.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Just shout back at like, I'm making you a better shooter.
Exactly. I was like, it's just going to help you. It's going to be okay.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, so how do you balance the, the need to, go out and shoot major matches, run your club match with the need to train yourself? What does your training regimen look like?
It's minimal, actually.
Yeah.
I have a lot going on between school and the golf season just finished up. So I have been playing golf for the past 4 months, and home life and working other jobs that I don't really get any live fire training. I do some dry fire when I can, a couple times a week, but it's not as much as it should be, and it's not as much as I would like it to be. So I don't get my practice are major matches. Yeah.
I don't know if that's the right way to do it.
Yeah, it's not the best way to do it. I wouldn't recommend it, but
well, okay,
what
so
I have to do.
you have like very little time to practice. So what are you going to do when you go to college? Like, what's your practice going to look like then?
Can't really have guns at college, so
yeah, they frown on that.
Yeah, I don't know if that's allowed. So it's probably going to be even worse than it is now, but I'm hoping to get enough practice between weekends and practice at during the summer. And hopefully I'm thinking about going to a college that's near the range that I work at.
Oh, cool.
So if I'm able to do that, then I'll be able to keep my guns at the range and go in and work every weekend. And so hopefully that will happen. Don't know yet, but
yeah,
that's the dream as far as being able to practice. But it's probably going to be mostly limited to the summer and then going to major matches and practicing like I am now at major matches.
Well, I did an interview last year with Cody Leeper. Do you know Cody?
I do, yes.
So Cody,
I know of him.
You know of him, okay. So Cody was, at the time I was talking to him, he was in college as well, and he was telling me about how he does his practice in almost completely visualization, and like he never gets to touch his guns. And it's episode 109 if people are interested in it. And Sydney, I'll send you a link after the show here, but so you can listen to that and hopefully put some of it in your practice. But yeah. I guess it all goes to like unconventional training now that you're not going to be able to have access to your guns.
I know it's gonna be rough. I'm gonna have like separation anxiety.
Yeah. Maybe your folks can send you Snapchats of them or something like that.
Yeah.
They're still okay, right? Yeah, Sydney. So the you have a lot going on with practice, or with your matches with golf. Don't get all the practice you need in. So what would like an ideal practice regimen look like for you if you had like all the ammunition in the world, all the time in the world? What would you like to do?
Oh gosh, you shouldn't tell me that.
Yeah.
Hopefully I would have a range in my backyard.
Yeah, if we're gonna go fantasy, might as well go big, right?
Might as well.
In the backyard.
And I would probably be like homeschooled. Wouldn't have to go to school. And I don't know, I would do dry fire, especially during the winter, which I do already, but dry fire at night and shoot a couple hundred rounds of pistol every day. Every other day if things are busy, and shoot a couple boxes of shotgun and make sure I work with long range and some close rifle paper and things like that. What I would really like to do.
I gotcha. What do you feel is like your biggest strength in 3-gun?
Probably shotgun.
Yeah.
I really love my shotgun, and a lot of people say that I'm able to shoot shotgun mostly pretty fast, so I just kind of stick with it. I like shotgun. I feel good and comfortable with my shotgun.
Yeah, so if you have like the pistol shotgun optional targets, do you then lean on shotgun most of the time?
Most of the time. It depends on the targets and how close they are and things like that, but most of the time I stick with shotgun.
Mm-hmm. Now, if you have like a weakness, what would you say your weakness was?
It's actually kind of weird. It's close paper with rifle.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
I don't know why.
You go too fast?
I want to be really accurate, so I slow down.
Oh, okay.
I'm afraid to miss it, so I go really, really slow.
Yeah, you got the opposite problem most people have. Most people just wail on those things.
Yeah, it's really weird. But I like get to close paper with rifle, and I don't know what to do. I just go a lot slower than I should.
Have you tried to practice that out?
A little bit. I don't really have the time to go and practice, but when I do, like once every 6 months, I do work with close paper with rifle. I like that. What's it called? The V drill.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's fun. It's expensive, but it's fun.
It's a lot of fun. I only shoot it like 3 times, but that's fine.
Yeah, that's the one that you shoot. You make a bunch of noise, and then everyone from the other berms start like coming around to like see what you're doing.
Yeah,
Does that ever happen to you? That one's happened to me a couple times where all of a sudden I make friends like, "Hey, what are you doing over here?" Yeah, maybe that's just my range. Well, so the all right, so close range paper. Any other things that you're working on in your game?
Mental game is a big one.
Yeah.
that I try to work on. I usually my mental game is lacking. I don't have the best mental game. I like to get inside of my head. I don't really get angry. I just get frustrated that I didn't shoot well or that I missed a target or that I shoot or I had a bunch of so I would say mental game is something that I'm definitely working on, and it's getting better now that I'm starting to kind of figure out that not everything's a race, and if I slow myself down in my head, then everything goes smoother and it ends up working out better.
Right. Do you try to push too hard and like let the wheels come off, or is that what
Pretty
happens?
much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I either push too hard and the wheels kind of come off, or I everything starts going good and I'm like, oh, okay, this is going good. Go faster, and the wheels start to come off then.
Yeah. I think everyone can relate to that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're like, oh, I need to really push hard on this one to gain some time, and then it just turns into garbage.
Yeah, exactly. Like you have a bad stage, then you're like, okay, I can make up time on this stage, and it's just another bad stage.
Yeah. Yeah, that happens a lot.
Yeah, it does.
All right. Well, Sydney, so we've talked about your game, match directoring. I want to change the topic a little bit here. And you mentioned before we got started here that you have siblings. Are they trying to follow your footsteps? Are they getting into competitive shooting, or are they just not interested whatsoever?
Well, Sadie, she is 15.
Mm-hmm.
And one of I think it was actually the first gun that I won. I traded it in for a 22 pistol for her.
Oh, cool.
So that she could start. And she shoots some steel challenge every now and then, but she's not really a fan of outside and heat and sweating or bugs or lots of mud or dirt. It's not really her thing. So
there's not much she's going to enjoy about this game then.
Yeah. She likes Steel Challenge, and she's really good at it too, but she doesn't shoot it, I guess, as much as she would like. And then the twins, they're 10, so we haven't really started them with anything like that. They're pretty small. So they kind of just, like, they got into American Heritage Girls, which is kind of like a different Girl Scouts type thing.
Okay.
And so they're starting to do a lot more outdoor activities like camping and things like that. They love going fishing. But they're getting there. They're just not quite ready yet.
Very cool. Well, so we've got a couple people that are listening to the show or watching the show live. They're in the chat here, and Mike Bauer has a question for you. And his question is, what advice would you give to a father of two young girls to help get them interested in the shooting sports?
Take them to the range. Get them comfortable. The most important thing is that they are comfortable around guns and that they know how guns work, how they operate, and that they are something that can be harmful, but when they're used in the right way, then they can be a lot of fun. So make sure that they're comfortable and that they enjoy it and that they're not afraid of it, because when they're afraid is when they're not going to want to do it. Gotcha.
Now, so I'm guessing two young daughters would probably want to start with like 22s or something.
Exactly. Yeah. Start with 22s. Do something like Steel Challenge. You stand in a box and you shoot the 5 targets that are in front of you. It's a lot of fun because it has a lot of speed and has a lot of accuracy to it. So it kind of takes you back down to the basics, and it's something that's really good to start with.
Mm-hmm. Now, how long had you been shooting before you started shooting Steel Challenge and IDPA?
Before I started shooting Steel Challenge?
Yeah.
About 3 months was when I first shot a pistol.
Oh, really? So pretty quick.
Yeah,
then.
and I would go once a week and I would shoot at a little tiny dot on an indoor range. And then I went and shot a Steel Challenge match just to kind of try it. And I really did enjoy it.
So I guess 3 months. So do you feel like you had enough experience going into those matches? Like you knew all the function of the firearm, safe direction, all that good stuff?
Yeah, I definitely think I learned the basics and I knew how everything operated and I was comfortable. with it, so that helped a lot going into Steel Challenge. I was still really nervous because it was a match setting and it was a competition setting, and I didn't really know what to do, and I hadn't shot it before. So I was nervous about that, but I felt comfortable with my gun, and I knew kind of what I was doing for the most part, I guess you could say.
I gotcha. Yeah, so the function manual of operations, I guess, knowing all that before you go in. So if there is any sort of, I don't know, malfunctions or anything, they can figure it out and then introduce the fun of the timer and all that good stuff.
Exactly.
All right. I like it. Mike, hope that answered your question. Sid, anything you want to add to that one?
No, not that I can think of.
All right. So next question then. We got Bryson Shoots, and he says, what is it like to be so awesome?
I don't think I'm that awesome, but thank you.
Apparently Bryson thinks so. Okay. So as far as the I guess the competitive shooting career path, you've shot for a few years now. Do you see this being like a long-term thing for you? Like when you're 20 years down the road, are you going to still be shooting 3-gun in competitions?
I think so. I really do want to stick with the sport. I actually want to go into mechanical engineering and hopefully intern at some of these major gun companies and go back into the shooting industry and work for a gun company designing guns and gears and sticking with the sport.
Very cool. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm excited to hear that. We need some innovation. It's like the same designs have been around forever, and everyone's just
exactly
vomiting out more AR-15s. Like, hey, this one has holes. This one doesn't have holes. Neat. This one's purple. Cool.
Exactly.
You got to change that for me, Sydney. Make it cool.
Okay, I will. I'll make it cool.
All right. So mechanical engineering, is that, do you have like experience in that area? Constantly taking stuff apart. Like why mechanical engineering?
I like to know how things work.
Mm-hmm.
I like to know how things work and how things operate and what things do. So that's kind of where that comes from. I like designing and building things. I enjoy math. I'm not the best at math, but I'm getting there. I've just always enjoyed engineering. I go to a STEM school, so we have some engineering classes, and I took all those classes, and I love them, and we got to do a lot of really cool things, and that's kind of what opened me up to the idea of mechanical engineering. And then I started thinking about how I could actually apply that to the shooting sports, and I could go into one of these companies and work for them as an engineer, designing new things, new guns, and just new, I don't know what I'm trying to say. New gear is what I'm trying to say. Just new innovative ideas.
Good. I like it. Well, Sydney, we're coming up on our time here, but I got a couple last questions that I want to ask you that I ask all my guests. And the first one is, where do you see the sport of 3-gun headed?
I hope to see it headed as far as growing. I want it to grow and get bigger, and it kind of be more of a new, cooler sport that people see rather than people seeing it as something that's dying off. Mm-hmm. I want it to grow and expand and get more people interested in it, and I think that can happen, especially with social media and how it is today and how much everybody in the world is a part of it. I think if we're able to invite more people to shoot 3-gun, it's going to be able to grow, and people are going to see it and they're going to want to join in. Awesome.
Do you see 3-gun right now as something that is dying off, or do you see it as currently growing?
I see it as something that's kind of plateaued for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
When I joined, it seemed like everybody was joining, and now that everybody's joined, I've seen more people join, but not as many who joined 3 to 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think the more people we're able to attract to the sport, the more it's just going to grow. And it might kind of not seem like it's growing to us just because we see the same people at the same matches. But if we're able to show people that major matches aren't exclusive thing and anyone's able to really come shoot it, then it's going to grow.
Yeah. That's a very good point. I was actually on the AR-15 podcast talking about 3-gun several months ago. And one of the things they asked me is like, how do you get invited to a match? And I was like, I don't even know how to answer that question. Like, you just sign up and go. And they thought, or I guess the person that asked the question thought that there was some sort of process that you had to like qualify for a match or, like I said, be invited or something. Like it was sort of an exclusive club. But if you're listening to this, no, you can go shoot anytime.
Exactly. That was the thing that I kind of found out at the 2A camps. Those juniors, they thought, mostly their parents thought in order to come shoot a major match, they were going to have to be able to get to a certain skill level and have a certain amount of sponsors and things like that. And it's like, no, just come join in. We are happy to have you. We don't care if you time out every stage. And we don't care if your pistol jams every stage.
Yeah.
We're there to loan you gear. We're there to help you. And it's for anyone. It's not just for the people who can shoot really fast.
Yeah. That's a really good point. But I guess I thought that I was kind of taken aback by that question, but I guess like looking back on it, I kind of thought that myself as well, because I guess I went to 3-Gun Nation Nationals like 2015, I think. Is that 2015. And I just went there for like the show because I just started the show. I'm like, I want to go meet all these people I've had on the podcast and stuff. And I came down and everyone was asking me like, why am I not shooting? And I was like, well, I thought you had to qualify for nationals, but it turns out like all I had to do was pay my entry fee and bring my guns, and I could have shot it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, kind of silly. It's not like MMA, right? Where you got to get picked for a title fight or something. You just show up and shoot.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that. Oh, that's a good positive thing. So how can we let more people know that they can just come out and shoot anytime?
I think it's kind of like things like this, shows like this, social media posts saying that you don't have to have a certain skill set. You don't have to have any sponsors. You just have to have the will to want to come have fun. And you're definitely invited. When matches post their like sign up registration links include that that it's for anyone who can come sign up as long as they just sign up.
Yeah.
So
that's a good
things
point.
like that.
That's a good point. I don't think I've ever seen anyone. I'll have to start paying closer attention. But I don't think I've ever seen like a post of like, hey, here's our match that said anyone is welcome, all skill levels or anything like that. So yeah, I guess that does make sense that you would kind of think there's some sort of barrier there.
Yeah. And that's one thing that I put into whenever I post about my match on Dead Zero, or if I'm in the Facebook page, or I have it on the practice score in like the description too. I always put new and experienced shooters are welcome. Everyone's welcome. So it is just a club match, and new shooters do feel more inclined to go to club matches, but that's just something that I like to include. And I've actually had a bunch of new shooters reach out and need to borrow gear and want to come try it. And I've had some shooters that just wanted to come watch some matches, and I've had a bunch of people come observe 3-gun matches and then come to the next match and actually shoot it.
Yeah. I see that a lot too at club matches. By the way, I really enjoy shooting club matches. Club matches are fun, but I've seen like a lot of people where they're just like standing, back by the cars and stuff. It's like, first of all, you can come closer, and second, you want to come play with us because it's okay.
Yeah, we last match we had about 4 people come and watch, and after everything was done, we gave them some guns and ammo, and we had them shoot the last stage that we were on, and they really enjoyed it.
Oh, that's exciting.
I saw them signed up for my match this month, so I'm excited.
It works.
Yeah.
Just get a little taste, and they want to come back for more. I like it. Awesome. Well, Sydney, before I ask my last question here, where can we find you on social media if people want to follow you and see what you're doing in your shooting career?
Yeah, so on Facebook, I'm Sydney Rockwell. That's all it is. And you'll find my competitive shooter athlete page. On Instagram, it's at Sydney Rockwell. And on Twitter, it's Sid3Gun.
Right on. Well, anyone you want to thank before we give a final thought here?
Yeah, I'd love to thank all my sponsors, Carbon Arms, Swarovski Optics, Dead Zero Shooting, 511 Tactical, 2A Jewels, Briley Manufacturing, Lead Star Arms, Peltor Sport, Cherry Bombs, Notch Gear, Shoot Steel, Air 15 GOA, and Generation 3 Gun.
Very cool. Well, Sydney, one last question here. One final thought, one piece of advice that you can give the audience to take away with them and think about.
One piece of advice: go to a match and have fun. Enjoy yourself. Don't get caught up in the competitiveness. Don't get in your head. Just go, have fun. Smooth is fast, fast is smooth, and make some friends. It's a good sport.
I like it. Well, Sydney, that's a great final thought. Thank you so much for being here on the Three Gun Show. Appreciate you sharing your shooting experience and your perspective with the audience. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Quick reminder that if you enjoyed this episode of the podcast, subscribe in iTunes, Google Play, Podcast Addict, or wherever you get your podcast content, so you will always get the very latest. Thank you so much for downloading, listening, and subscribing to the show. I'm Dave Hartman, and I'll see you on the range.
If you are finished, unload, show clear.
Here we go. Do I have any boogers?
Not that I can tell.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Three Gun Show. I'm your host.